This is all Hitches, the NoVA football podcast.
All right, welcome to All Hitches, NoVA's #1 football podcast. Coach Mesa, how's it going today, buddy?
It's going well, man. Little rainy night tonight, huh?
Yeah, a little the kind of weather that a little feedback. The kind of weather people.
No, that was me. That's me going to going to the.
Okay, yeah, it's the kind of weather some people do not want in about 3 days, and it's the kind of weather that some people do want in 3 days, depending on who you ask, my friend.
Yeah. It was definitely a fall day, right?
Yeah, I mean, leaves are falling. It's wet. It's cold. It was in the 40s. But
this is what Friday night may be like.
Friday night, which is still not a bad deal because again, you look at the daytime temps. You're looking at like low 60s, so it's going to be still pretty unseasonably warm for this time of year.
That's all I saw. It's supposed to be like low of 30 on Friday.
Yeah, but you talk about getting in the lows. You're talking about like midnight, 1 a.m. I mean, as far as the low, right? And a lot of times the low of that day is actually early morning, like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. in that morning.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I just
I'm a little bit of a
chance of rain, and
I'm a little of a weather buff, if I may say so myself. I think being a lifelong PE teacher, I think you have to be somewhat of a kind of a weather hound.
okay.
I mean, the first thing I look at every morning, first thing, all right, can I go outside with my classes? How's it going to be? That's the first thing I always look at. So, but yeah, buddy, the talk of the town today. Talk of the town was the interview we did last night with Coach Do, and some of the stuff that came out of that interview.
Yeah, it's pretty cool talking to him. I mean, being the front, I don't know if he's done interviews before us, but it was nice talking about the season. I mean, just
kind of lost you audio wise, Mesa.
What's that?
Your audio just kind of went.
I saw can you hear me now?
I mean, I don't know if the people can hear you. I can barely hear you, but.
I mean, I don't know if the
Yeah, I mean, your volume's definitely down, but it just kind of shot down all of a sudden. I can read your lips, though. I'm an expert lip reader. Now you have no volume.
Can you hear me now?
Better.
Oh, that's weird. I don't know what happened. Was it like that before we first started?
It's going back up again.
Is it going back up again?
Yes, it is going back up. Look at that. Hallelujah.
That's weird.
That is weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, talking about last night's interview.
Yeah. Kind of a season. I don't think anybody's. I don't think that season went better than probably anybody could have possibly expected. Right? I'd imagine.
Oh yeah. Are you kidding me? I mean, an amazing. I was talking to my brother about this today. He's kind of out of the loop on high school football. He was asking questions about it, and he was shocked. He was just like, "Man, they were ranked in the 50s at one point." He's like, for an inaugural season, starting the. I mean, if you tell someone that story, it's pretty amazing first year story.
Yeah, I know, it's really cool.
So and we saw it all. I mean, we saw and with all the attention they got and everything else, and well deserved, and the new wrinkles and twists for next year, right? You're talking about two teams, right? I like how the team is traveling.
Yeah.
I wanted to call it a regional team. He made sure to say not a regional team, blue-gray, right? They'll travel. They just play a different opponent when they're there.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty impressive.
And then the big news, at least for a lot of the seniors that came out of that, the Senior Bowl. You and I get to announce the names in short order.
Yeah, that's I mean, it's pretty cool. Right, you're gonna have a little rivalry between essentially what's gonna be DC and Maryland versus Virginia, and all of Virginia. Right, he's trying to going up and down the coast, not just the coast, but even inland. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be pretty cool for a lot of these guys to get together. And I always think All-Star games are fun, especially in high school, right? Because you spend so much time competing with these guys, and then you get to be on one team. I mean,
it's awesome.
Yeah,
and so I mean, really, if you haven't done so already, haven't seen it already, we put it up on all the socials, Twitter, add it on the story on Instagram. Maybe we'll put it on the website, Mesa. We'll put that doc on there, and share it on a couple of the Facebook things as well. But yeah, but it's on our Twitter. Get in there if you have someone to nominate. If you're a coach, it asks for stats, and it asks for all the things that someone would need. But get in there, nominate. If someone's worthy of that, get out there and nominate them.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of great players, worthy. A lot of great seniors in Northern Virginia, worthy of nomination. Coach Counts coaching the team. For anyone who missed that, that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to have a hell of a staff with him as well, from all over different parts of Virginia, here and everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, buddy. So good stuff with that. And I know a lot of people were writing me, kind of asking them questions about the Senior Bowl. There's no time. There's no, they don't have a day for it. At least as of yesterday, he didn't mention a day. I went by. I looked at the calendar. Last year, it was played in like one of the first weekends after the New Year.
Yeah, because we put that out in the feed, right?
Right. So if you're kind of trying to pencil something in and you're thinking, okay, when will it be? Look at the first weekend or probably the second weekend after the New Year. Just basing off of last year. If you're looking for a tentative, if you're like I was going to say how I am. I'm not this organized. But if you are someone who's organized and you like to mark things on a calendar, maybe that's probably something to shoot for. Okay.
Right.
So
yeah, you probably after New Year. I mean, because the state champions are going to get played, and then it's Christmas. It'd be really hard to kind of put that thing together before the New Year.
All right, man. Well, good stuff. Awesome interview. It's up there. We had it. It's on all of our socials and everything. If you want to check out our interview with Dio, and it was a good interview. And I think you had said this, Mace. It's one that it's not going to become dated, other than the Senior Bowl stuff, obviously. But that's a month and a half away. But you can listen to it tomorrow, the next day. I mean, it's one that if you haven't gotten around to it yet, it's not going to date itself.
Yeah.
Not until next season, at least, until he kind of kicks off the new St. James season. So good stuff there. All right, now here it is, buddy. Playoff preview, region semifinals. This is what you've been waiting for. You were like a guy like in prison. You had the little line, scratching it off, the line, scratching it off. You're excited about this.
Yeah, no, I mean a lot. I mean every game except for one is a rematch.
Yes.
Every game except for one. Well, I don't know about down south. I don't think down south, maybe not, because I know we try to look at that. But at least in the regions that we cover, all 5 of the 6 games are all rematches.
Yeah, and you've said it before, right? As a coach, your famous take, right? It's hard to beat somebody twice.
For sure. I mean, we saw it last week, right? A lot of the team. Well, South Lakes was able to beat Yorktown, but WNL was not able to beat Westfield. Actually, no. Last week we had quite a few. Fairfax was able to still beat AC.
I feel like the winners held strong, other than WNL.
Other than WNL, yeah, maybe you're right.
Is that accurate? I'm trying to think if that's accurate.
South County and Falls Church was not a rematch. Like Braddock, but West Poe, West Springfield was a rematch. So yeah, so actually everybody held serve except for, but then also that counters that kind of goes into what we talk about the first round matchup just being blowouts anyway. I mean, for the most part,
right?
Blowouts.
Yeah. So you never know, and regardless of what happened last week, it's always tough. In the rematch. So here we go. We're going to start off. And one thing you and I are going to talk about, maybe we'll save it for the back end of the show. People have been asking us, what game are we going to go to this week? And we've had people asking us, We got some of our close friends. I wore my Mega Power shirt today, and for the Mega Powers out there, I know Dark Visors and Levels. They told us today they're heading out to Madison Centerville. Hopefully I didn't break a big secret there, but I think they told us that today. It sounded pretty definitive, at least. So you got those guys doing that, which is awesome. And I've had a couple of people write us. I think Coach Van Acker, I think some other people said they're heading out to Centerville too.
It's a good game to go to.
It's a great game to go to. So you and I we'll be completely transparent. We are on the fence between that and South County Lake Braddock. We are sitting on the fence.
We're also on another fence where if it's raining too much, we may.
Our fence doesn't have an umbrella. It doesn't have a canopy. Is that what you're saying? There's no canopy by our fence. Yeah, and obviously if the weather's crappy, then we'd be happy to resurrect the show one more time. People are chanting one more time, one more time. And now I don't think the weather's going to be that bad. To your point earlier, I don't think it's going to be that bad. But those are the two games that you and I are debating on going to. And we just need a little. I had someone today tell me, "Oh, you're not going to let. You're not." They said that game's. They said that's the overhyped game. They said Lake Braddock, South County. That's the sleeper game.
I don't think it's a sleeper game. I think I don't know how it's a sleeper game. I'd imagine.
Well, I think they were talking about next to the Madison Centerville hype.
Maybe, yeah.
I in general, it's not a sleeper game, but next to that game, well, we just said it. A lot of people we know they're going to Madison Centerville.
Yeah.
So I think next to that game, people are saying, but no, it's not. I said it for a while. South County Lake Braddock is Steelers Ravens.
Yeah.
It's Steelers Ravens.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm
surprised you go old school. Old Raiders Chiefs.
Raiders Chiefs, an old AFL matchup.
Yeah.
So all right, we're gonna get into it right now. Let's go to the videotape. Even though there's no videotape here, we're gonna go to the pretend videotape. We're going to go to our first matchup we're going to talk about today. The number 1 seed in Region C is hosting Fairfax High School, buddy. What do you think?
So there are out of all the matchups, there are 2 matchups that are blowouts. That were blowouts the week before, and this is one of them. West Springfield handled Fairfax pretty well the last time they saw them. I think it's going to be an uphill battle for Fairfax. I mean, West Springfield is white hot. So I am curious. I'm curious if what the game plan is going to be for Fairfax. I am all over. My feed is bad right now. I'm looking.
Your feed's terrible. That explains the volume issue you had earlier.
Yeah, there we go. It cleaned up a little bit. It's going to be an uphill battle. I think in order to win this game, Fairfax is really going to need to play good defense and keep the ball away from that West Springfield offense. Because that was the problem last time. Is that West Springfield's offense just got going and they really had no response.
Yeah, I mean this is the one, right? I mean the 1 seed and playing against the what were they? The 4 or the 5? They were the 4, right?
They are the 4 seed.
Yeah, the 4. Yeah.
It went chalk all the way through.
It went chalk.
Everything.
That's right. So, I mean, it was a thorough beating the first time. I mean, it was thorough. I mean, West Springfield. I remember you and I watching that game and commenting on that game. We were shocked at how West Springfield had their way with an elite Fairfax defense.
Yeah. Because I think the problem is with West Springfield playing with Springfield now. I think Fairfax really stout up front, but. Don't get me wrong, West Springfield has a great run game, but West Springfield can also throw the ball, right? So they've really got to find a way to get and also, I mean, look at Lewis is really hot right now. I mean, he's had multiple 5 touchdown games over the last month. So I mean, it's gonna be a tall order for them. But Fairfax can slow them down. Now, a really interesting stat that I went with in the history of West Springfield versus Fairfax only beat West Springfield twice. And those were Tony Rojas Jr. and senior years.
I couldn't believe that. Matter of fact, I'm still doubting that. There's no way.
I'll tell you right now. They haven't played many times. They haven't played many times, but they
never played that much, huh? Like previously.
No, they've only played 11 times in the history of the 2 schools. Their first matchup was in 2005.
That's crazy talk.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, the first matchup was, I mean, West Springfield's relatively an older school, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's been around since I was a little kid, and I'm not young anymore. I wish I was young.
Well, actually, I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you, West Springfield's first season was
Because my aunt worked
66.
there. Yeah, my aunt
66.
worked there forever. Okay, and my aunt.
That's crazy. I mean, Fairfax being one of the oldest schools around, the first time they played was in 2005. Wow.
That's wild to me. Absolutely wild.
But for what it's worth, though, right? I mean, they play 11 times. West Springfield holds a 9-2 advantage.
Yeah, I mean, well, Fairfax, for a long time we've talked about this, because you moved out here from California, and all of a sudden you saw this Tony Rojas. You saw this Tony Rojas Fairfax team, and you were like, "Who are these? These guys are a machine." And I was trying to explain to you, this wasn't how they used to be.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they definitely got their. I mean, West Springfield got their licks in when they played over the years. A lot of those, and I would imagine a lot of those, handful of those wins. You had the Renner era over at.
It
West
was so.
Springfield.
I'll tell you right now. It is the first time they played. Yeah, Coach Renner played them in 05.
There it is.
And Jason Eldridge beat them twice, and then Coach Parker, who has been there since, has had a couple wins in a row, then lost to the semifinalists, and they were the semis, right? There were semis, and that year was the year that they got knocked out by Westpo, but they lost those right there. And then they won the next three after them.
Well, I just think right now, I mean, whenever I'm looking at these kind of games, you and I have talked about this. Who are they coming in? Who are they coming in? And right now, West Springfield's red hot.
Yeah,
they're red hot. They're thoroughly beating everybody they've played. They're one of the hottest teams in the state of Virginia. They have a quarterback who is the all-conference QB, might be an all-region quarterback. They have maybe the all-conference, all-region running back, maybe the all-conference, second team, maybe a tight end. They have a couple stud linemen. That offense is absolutely legit.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Javon Austin's playing lights out right now at receiver. So I think when you talk that many weapons, and we know the Parkers can coach, it's hard to think that. Now, I'll say this: Fairfax's strength is their defense, and it looked like last week was the old Fairfax of old with Davin Tolson and Murad, and we talked about the Maltese Falcon, right? And then the QB that we like, Baker Mayfield Morris, kind of doing his thing a little bit, right? Running, using his legs more than his arm in that game. But I just think right now West Springfield is just a juggernaut coming to this game.
Yeah,
it would be a huge upset, Mesa, if Fairfax.
Oh, it'd be a giant upset for sure.
And Fairfax does have an X factor when you talk about. They essentially have the Tom Landry in their corner. You got the Godfather. You got Jerry Pannoni.
Yeah.
So that is an X factor. Special teams might be an X factor. Knowing what Pannoni's got up his sleeve, that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean it's a tall order to beat Scott Lewis and company right now.
They got their work cut out for them.
Yeah, they sure do. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move on. We're gonna move on, my friend, and we're gonna stay right there in what might be the marquee matchup in Region C.
Actually, so one more thing. I just brought it up. I started looking up. Pannoni has lost to when he's at South County. He has lost to West Springfield once.
See,
yeah,
that kind of evens out some of the other stuff.
Yeah,
All
right.
All right. So Lake Braddock, South County, one of the, premier matchups in Northern Virginia going back, right?
Yeah.
And here we go, buddy. Here we go.
Yeah,
Heavyweight matchup. Talk about
it. That game last, I believe it was a 2-point game, if I'm not mistaken. Let me go to the videotape here. Lake Braddock, a 1-point game. That field goal, they're down 20 to 22 and hit that last second field goal. So and South County and Lake Braddock have been wars for probably going on what, maybe a decade now. Over the last 5 games, it's gone. Uh, let's see, it's gone. Uh, they are.
Well, the Bruins
They're
are one
actually
and
only
five.
3-2
The Bruins are 1-5 in their last 6 games at South County.
at South County.
At South County.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
buddy.
Because I'm looking here and let's see, and they lost in 21, then they beat them in 22, 23.
At home.
They lost in
Those were at
24.
home, Asa.
Okay, yeah.
1-5 in their last 6 games when they play in Lorton.
Yeah. So it's a huge rivalry, at least right in the Patriot District. There's a little bit of bad blood between them. I think it's probably one of the, I mean, I know we're going to talk more about matches, but I'd imagine this has got to be up there for one of the premier matchups of the night.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And let's get into the players a little bit here. We're going to talk about now you and I we were at the West Springfield game. It looked like they started to click a little bit, right? I mean, 2 weeks ago, Ty Jackson throwing to his receiver, right? Throwing to his big tight end, throwing to Hibner.
Yeah.
Right. It looks like Rye starting to kind of get they found something in the Rye Ty Jackson kind of combo, the Thunder and Lightning, Thunder and Thunder, right?
Yeah.
Of those two, I feel like the Bruins kind of find themselves in the last few weeks, and I feel like they've refound themselves offensively, and they're kind of ready to they're playing a little better offensively than they were about a month ago. They kind of hit a little bit of a slump. Now, South County, on the other hand, that's been one of the surprise offenses all year with Dylan Miller and company.
Travion Campbell, a wide receiver.
Travion Campbell, Miller, the young freshman, Achapon.
Yeah.
I think it's Amari Achapon.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, yeah, South County, with Coach Urquhart, he's done a great job, I think, with this offense. And now we got to see, Doc and company. They've owned. This has been a weird year for them. They've owned Patriot, right? They've won it since 21, 22. They've won Patriot every year.
Yeah. After Rojas left. So
after Rojas left when he graduated, right?
They've had that. And the South County offense has been clicking for the most part, right? Now the one thing that the wrinkle that Lake Braddock now is starting to use now is Ty Jackson in the run game, which is going to add an extra wrinkle to them, right? So he wasn't as involved run game, and now he's starting to run them a little more. So now it's going to give a different dynamic. Now, they scored 23 points with that offense. So I'd imagine Lake Braddock feels like they can slow the offense down, right?
Oh, we know Coach Crush is going to have those guys foaming at the mouth in that D line.
Yeah.
And ready to go, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. I mean, this is the one. You know, again, we're going to talk about it. Do you make the drive? Do you go out to Lorton? Do you get the donuts over at Texas Donuts? Do you go to Centerville? Go to Backyard Grill? Fair discussion that you and I have to have. Forget about meeting dignitaries down in the White House and all that from international travelers. These are the real talks. These are real diplomacy talks right here. What do you do? The donuts, or you do the Backyard Grill? You and I are going to figure it out. We're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, we move on. We're going to head out to another region. And while we're at it, while we're talking about heavyweight matchups, my friend, let's go ahead and do it. Let's make the back-to-back. What many are calling the game of the week. Madison Centerville, talk about it.
Yeah. So last time Madison was right in that game. They were I believe a 2-point conversion, right, from taking a lead there against Centerville. So I mean, they've got to be confident that they can play with them, because they did. They played with them already. Also, I think we talked. That last win was the first time Coach Shields ever beaten Madison. Madison's had their number, and Centerville has had some. They have a really good team now, but there's been years past where they've had some really dominant teams. I remember a few years ago, everyone was sure Madison was going to run away with it, or I'm sorry, Centerville was going to run away with it. Was it the 22-23 season?
Yeah. I want to say it was. Remember when they had Ragland, that running back?
It was 22-23.
Yeah, I want to say it was Ragland's senior year.
Yeah, that team was really good, and they still couldn't get over that Madison hump.
That is true.
Now, I do think this. Now, I know you think it's not going to be very bad, but last I looked, it's going to be 72% chance of rain at night.
Ooh.
If it starts raining, and not that Centerville can't run the ball, but Madison is going to line those two backs and really try to slow it down. And if you can slow down, if the weather helps you slow down that Centerville offense with Shields and those guys and Simpson, that's going to be a huge help to them. Not that Madison can't play defense, but if you add in the elements in there, I mean, I think that's a huge advantage for Madison. And we've talked before about the fact that Madison is built for this kind of stuff, right? Their offense is geared towards bad weather, and now if that bad weather shows up on Friday, it's going to be a feather in Madison's cap.
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't seen 72% chance of rain. If that happens, that's a whole other analysis. And because of the weird, I'll say drought. I'll go ahead and use the word drought. But because of the weird drought-like weather we had all fall, it is going to present itself another issue for a passing offense.
Oh, 100%. Especially if it's a little windy.
Right.
There's a lot of things.
A passing offense, Centerville, going against a defense that specializes against the run.
Well, here's the actual weather. I'm looking at weather.com right now. Periods of rain, low 50s, winds light and variable. Chance of rain 70%.
And that's in the evening. And that's at night.
Around a quarter of an inch.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
I mean,
that's an issue. That's an issue. Now, especially when you look at Madison's matchups. I mean, remember Madison and Stonebridge, right? Early in the season, it's like a 6-0 game.
Yeah.
Teams don't want to run the ball. You want to run the ball. They lost, but so what? I mean, I'm talking about they'll do that to you if you want to try to run the ball. It'll be a low-scoring game. They welcome that kind of offense against them. Now, I think of the Braddock game, and Braddock lights them up for 3 or 4 touchdowns in the fourth quarter to win it.
Right.
Throwing the ball, Mason. They were throwing it.
Yeah. No. I mean, if the weather permits, I mean that Centerville is going to be tough to stop. That was in September. That was not in, second week of November. Two different kinds of weather, right? In September it was 65 degrees outside. It was nice and warm, a little humid. And you and I know you are a guru of treating footballs and getting ready for play. Those balls get slick, man.
Yeah.
Especially in the rain. I mean, it's gonna be if it's a tough weather condition, it's gonna be an advantage for Madison for sure.
Yeah, and good old Matthew Wheeler, the man, he eats wet footballs for breakfast.
Right.
I was thinking of the Billy Madison line. Is that Billy Madison? He eats guys like you for breakfast or whatever it is. But
no, that's from Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore. That's right. I knew it was Adam Sandler. Now is this the week? Are the coaches taking the footballs and dunking them in the water? Good old John Gruden style.
I mean, you better, right? Because if it's slick at all, turnovers are going to be huge in this game. It's going to be a huge thing in this game.
Because I figure practice is probably over right now for most teams.
Right.
Most teams probably started 5 o'clock average, 5:30.
Mm-hmm.
I say most people are probably over right now, probably driving home, maybe in the locker room. But it drizzled a little bit tonight, but nothing crazy. I don't know what the weather forecast is for tomorrow and the night after, but it wouldn't hurt you. To pull the water out, pull the bucket out, get some of your crappier footballs out there, right? You don't want to ruin a good ball, and maybe start practicing with those really crappy wet balls.
Yeah.
But like I said, that's not gonna matter to Matthew. Natrone means business Wheeler.
Yeah.
Steelers Wheeler. So, Again, looking forward to this game. We got a lot of people going to this game. A lot of people who are going to, reporting back to us. Yeah, maybe that's a reason not to go because everyone's going to it, and maybe we can have eyes on the other game.
Right.
And so, we'll see. But either way, amazing game in Centerville this week. Can't wait. All right, buddy. Well, and then there was one more in that region. And don't sleep on it, buddy. Don't sleep on these guys. South Lakes, the underdogs, the underappreciated underdogs, heading to Westfield, big bad Westfield.
So that's the other game that was a blowout. There's 2 games that blowout, and that's the other one. And actually, for South Lakes, it's the only team that actually handled them in the Concord. It was the only team that kind of beat them by multiple scores, and South Lakes really never in it. But South Lakes pesky all season. They've been pesky all season. They played everybody tough. They've got a chance to see what Westfield had, and I'm sure that Coach Hescock has got his guys ready to go with a different game plan. But you could argue. I mean, Westfield looks so good their last game. I mean, they a team that beat them. They pretty much went and beat up. It looks like and Coach Boston said it right. He had said that he wasn't worried about week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Talked to him when we got down toward the ends, and they looked like a team that was on a mission to win the region.
Got a couple comments here. Fire C4 says, I got to say, I think South County beating Braddock this week. And Benedict 25. Everyone loves the great soldier who was Benedict Arnold, one of the late great Benedict Arnold.
It's really interesting the fact that Benedict Arnold is treated very differently in British textbooks as opposed to as in American textbooks.
Makes sense. I was more of a Dirk Benedict guy.
Do you know what? Whenever I hear Benedict Arnold, we're way off. Is the Brady Bunch episode? Remember they called Bobby a Benedict Arnold, or they called Peter Benedict Arnold.
So before actually they called him chicken when he wasn't defending baby talk.
Yeah.
No, Dirk Benedict. You know the Dirk Benedict guy?
Yeah, Dirk Benedict from the 18.
Yeah, 18 face.
Yeah.
No face. But yeah, Benedict. He says greedy from the great state of Texas. Maybe he likes Texas donuts. And he says go Spartans. Go Spartans.
Yeah.
So. Even in Texas, they're rooting for the Spartans. That's what we hear. All right. We go west, sir. We go west, young man. And that's where we're going to go. And in another rematch, in what many, if they weren't calling the Madison Centerville game of the year, if they weren't calling the first South County like Braddock the game of the year, they were calling the North Stafford Battlefield Week 1 game the game of the year.
Yeah, North Stafford, I remember Carl called us and was like, North Stafford is taking it to Battlefield. North Stafford is, but they're at Battlefield. Battlefield trying to find a way to kind of get out of their playoff slump. North Stafford's coming with revenge on their mind, right? In their minds. And think about this: if they beat them, they're probably playing at North Stafford and not at Battlefield.
It's a good point.
Be able to pull that off.
Good point.
I just remember Carl saying he couldn't believe how much North Stafford was just taking it to Battlefield, which was really interesting. Battlefield on the other hand, and very similar to, because I think we will always say how Battlefield is kind of the Madison of that other region. If it starts raining out there and the weather's bad, advantage Battlefield, right? They'll get under center and they'll just start running the ball right down their throat and see if they can kind of control clock and build a lead and play defense.
Couple things. One, elephant in the room here. I've had people, kind of comment to me about, my theories on what happened at Battlefield. Look, first of all, and you brought this up to me today. Look, get over it, okay? All right, Daryl, she doesn't want to date you anymore, okay? They're not. It's not happening.
Yeah,
Forest Park fans. We love the tenacity and the grit, right?
Yeah.
It's not happening.
Right.
Stop spamming pages and going on Facebook and talking about Battlefield cheating. All right, I mean you don't know that. Just made up allegations right now. Like I said, to me, I said it before. I'll say it one more time. It looked like a couple guys needed a little hearing assistance, and it was helping them out and communicating, talking a little bit, and not allowed by any means. They're probably going to get banned from their favorite job, right? Favorite hobby, and that's too bad for them. But it is what it is. I think if we don't hear anything about it, Mesa, that's what it is. That's what it was. Because we know the VHSL is not going to do they're not going to send out a report to us saying what happened. They're either going to punish them or they're not.
Right. I agree.
When did they ever come out and say, hey, just so you guys know, this is what happened and here was the pun? They don't say that. We had to find out about Hayfield checking the wrong box. Right?
Oh,
In their appeal process. We had to find out about that through sources. Fairfax, the principal, wrote the email. Remember, the principal sent an email to the parents, and that got out. So we're not going to know anyway. So the only way you're going to know they did something wrong is if Battlefield all of a sudden is eliminated. If they're not, then nothing improper took place.
Right.
Jaywalking, as I said earlier, jaywalking. Right? What do you get charged with if you get thrown out of a window? Jaywalking? Beverly Hills Cop.
Yes, I know. I was quite aware.
All right. So, look, just like the South Lakes game versus Battlefield, North Stafford should have and could have probably won the game. They outplayed them. To Adam Schefter of NoVA's point, Carl Frederick, they outplayed them. Should have won. I do feel Battlefield's kind of like I said about Braddock a minute ago. I feel like Battlefield's gotten a little bit better over the last several weeks. They're playing with a little more confidence than they were. They did go through a slump, and it's so fun to call. What were they, 9-1?
Yeah, 9-1.
What a joke of it to call at any point to say someone who went 9-1 went through a slump is hilarious. And so it wasn't a slump per se in terms of wins and losses, but they were getting outplayed in games.
Yes,
they were getting outplayed.
They got outplayed. The North Stafford game, they got outplayed. They obviously lost to Patriot.
But like a true champion, right? Like a Ric Flair type champion, they found a way to kind of win. Whether it was a little package, maybe putting your foot on the rope at the end, doing little things that some of the wily wrestlers tended to do back in the day. Right. Maybe the brass knucks, kind of when the referee isn't looking. They found a way to get it done. And can they do it again? Odds are against them, buddy. The odds are against them, I'd say.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, they're still Battlefield. They're still, one of the premium teams in the area. So
they are. Does a team like North Stafford walk in there going, "Oh crap, here we are. This is Battlefield."
Yeah.
This is Sparta. I mean, do they walk in thinking that? They might. They've dominated a lot of these teams in the past.
Yeah. No, I think it should be a really good game, and I don't know. I don't know who's going to win that game, but I mean, it's going to be a slobber knocker, is my guess.
It really is. It really is. Now, stay out west here, and you talk about greatest show on turf versus greatest show on turf. You talk about firepower galore. Colonial Forge and Woodbridge, buddy.
I think this is the best game of the night. I mean, if I have to be completely honest with you, I think this is the best game of the night. These two teams are loaded. Yeah. They are absolutely loaded. And they are meeting in the second round, which is I think criminal. I think, yeah. These two teams are absolutely, like I said, absolutely loaded. This should be, we're definitely, if we're not out, we're definitely putting this game on. I may put this game on.
You'll have that game on a separate side, big screen.
Yeah, I might. Whoever wins this game, I think, is the odds-on favorite to win that region. I mean, and this game might be a war. There might be an absolute war between these two.
Yeah, that's fair to say. Now, Caleb Tucker, right?
Vinny Hill.
I mean, Woodbridge is absolutely loaded. Colonial Forge, goes without saying, absolutely loaded. This could be one of those games, man. Now, I know you love the Woodbridge secondary.
Yeah, I think the Woodbridge secondary is really talented. They're really fast and physical. I see this game being really big. Now, because here's another thing is people have been commenting, and we've seen a lot that people think Colonial Forge is the best team in might be the best team in Virginia, better than Oscar Smith, which is wild to say. So if Woodbridge is able to pull this off and beat them, I mean, we may see Woodbridge in the state final.
Now, Colonial Forge played who last round?
They played Garfield.
Garfield. Now, I know you can't go by this, but we're analyzing games and all that. And you start looking at common opponents and common scores. I looked at that Garfield game. They played that last playoff game. And we were kind of in and out of that game a little bit during the show on Friday night. It wasn't what Westfield did to W&L, Mason.
No, it was 14-0 at the half.
That's what I'm saying. Now, so if you're Woodbridge, look at Woodbridge's score against Garfield. It's a very similar score to the Colonial. Now, I know that's not how it works, and some matchups are better than others, and teams might match up against each other. I understand that, but all you can do is analyze what you got in front of you.
Right.
And looking
now,
at that,
the other game you could look at is the Colonial Forge North Stafford game, where North Stafford will beat Woodbridge in overtime.
Yeah, close game.
Whereas they play Colonial Forge, and it was a 1-point game.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
These are very evenly. There it is. I'm glad you brought that game up because that kind of doubles down what I'm saying. Both their common opponents are very similar scores.
Yeah. So I mean, this is
not a one. To your point, this is not a 1-4.
No, it's not a 1-4. I mean, either one of these teams in any other region, save maybe if Woodbridge and Oscar Smith right now, because I don't think anyone would make them the favorite against them. Would be the favorite to win that region.
It might be the favorite.
Colonial Forge in Region B in Region D is the favorite. Woodbridge in Region D is the favorite, and same thing in Region C.
That's fair. I mean, that's fair to say. So that's going to be a war. Great games all over the place. These are marquee matchups. What you were saying earlier, I think you said it last week. Maybe because of the previous score, maybe Westfield Yorktown. I mean, Westfield South Lakes, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe we wouldn't call that because of what they did to them early in the year when they played. But you're going to Lake Braddock, South County. Game of the year, possible. Lake Braddock, South County, game of the year, possible. North Stafford Battlefield, game of the year, right? Possible. And these two teams didn't play, but look at the common opponents. It's shaping up to be a one-score game. And by the way, if this game ends up being a one-score game, Mason, to end it, the common opponents maybe does mean something.
I mean that should go by. And we have another comment from Fire C4.
Fire C4.
He says that the Colonial Forge South County game was pretty close in the first half.
Okay.
Yeah.
They pulled away. But yeah, it makes sense. First half of the Forge County game was pretty close. South County's a good team.
Yeah, for sure.
South County's good.
Now,
I think
you could argue though that the only other team that beat them by as many points was Highland Springs, which is also a really good team. So I mean, there's two teams that have really kind of put it on South County, and it was those two teams.
Well, I'm going to say this right now too. Talking about, and I know we were talking about Colonial Forge, Woodbridge, but we've done all the Northern Virginia games.
Yeah.
So we can kind of hop around now in this conversation. I think that you bring up a good point. And I'm glad I don't have the whole schedule in front of me. I'm not looking at South County or anyone's schedule over the season. But South County, this is why you do that. Kudos to Coach Urquhart and company. This is why you lift all them weights. This is why you do all that stuff. This is why you play Highland Springs, Mesa. This is why you play Colonial Forge if you're South County. Because now South County, Coach Urquhart, he's sitting with his guys, Dylan Miller and all his stuff, and Travion Campbell saying, guys, we saw freaking top Division I prospects in these games early in the year. Don't worry about this game. Let's go, man. We played better teams. Yeah. debatable, but this is what he's going to be saying to them. That's what I'm saying.
We've played some of the best talent in the state.
Some of the best talent, bar none.
Yeah.
And people risky move because they're in a PowerPoint conference.
Yeah.
By the way, so also, and I guess that would have been Coach Urquhart in terms of the scheduling. That might have been the Godfather himself. It might have been Coach Pennoni.
Previous coaching staff.
Right. But you and Coach Wooten and Coach Wooten, right, the former DSA over there. So kudos to them, kind of the brain trust. It takes cojones because you're risking. It's not the good old, hey, just win your 4 conference games, and you're in. You can do whatever you want in the other games. This is PowerPoints, baby, big time. Every game counts. Every point counts. And they still went out there and played the best of the best.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And Highland Springs, 5A.
Right. Yeah.
You don't even get the full points anymore, right?
Right. Yeah. No. Absolutely.
Because we talked about how that impacted Herndon.
Yeah.
With the Tuscarora game.
Someone's commented on that. No one from this area can win it. I don't know what that means.
Yeah. Here, my only issue with that, and I'll say it right now. There was a person that his name was it might have not been Yao He How. It might have been He How Yao last time, and he said that last year. And that person was going like this as Madison went for the final play of the game to win it.
Yeah.
So you can sit here and say that all you want. Yeah, I understand. Oh man, no one's got talent like the Beach. No one's got talent. We've all heard that.
But that's the thing about football. It's not a series.
Right.
In the series, the best team normally wins out. In a series, normally the best team wins out. In one game, man, you never know. You never know.
100%. Combined, we talk about weather, all the other weird elements and factors that come into it. Right. I understand that comment. I understand someone thinking that, but the reality is, people were saying that a year ago.
Right.
And that game was far from the kind of game where, it was a lock. No, it wasn't. It was a freaking one of the greatest high school games I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So anyways, talking about some of these games, and the other game I guess was Fairfax West Springfield. So Fairfax West Springfield and Westfield South Lakes. Those are the kind of two that, all right. But the other games were all rematches of not just rematches, Mason. Rematches of maybe the best games of the year.
No, no, absolutely.
That's kind of unique.
Yeah.
So, now you go down south. We're not going to break these games down. We're not going to pretend to know and watch a lot of Oscar Smith and Elsie Bird, but that's the matchup there. Oscar Smith, Elsie Bird. Oscar Smith had the bye, and then the other game, Thomas Dale and Manchester. I remember you and I looking at some of these matchups earlier. Did they play each other?
I don't. Maybe. Hold on. Let me look at it.
Yeah, look at Oscar Smith. Who they play?
Oscar Smith.
I felt like maybe there was one rematch. And
they have not played Elsie Bird.
No. Okay.
And then what's the? Let me see if I find the other matchup here.
I don't think there was there. I don't think there was there either. Right.
Let's see.
I feel like because we looked at that last week. And we thought it was kind of
not played Manchester.
Right.
They did play Elsie Bird, and they beat them 21-0. Thomas Dale did.
Dale did. Okay, so at least there was a cross there. But if it goes chalk, you'll see Oscar Smith and Thomas Dale. If it goes chalk,
yeah,
right. You never know. Now we go to Front Royal. I know you like taking a drive and seeing the foliage. What do they call it? Leaves when they turn colors. Got a fancy SAT word, right? We're looking at the foliage. I don't know the words, man. I don't look at that stuff. I'm looking at the road in front of me, buddy. But some people do that stuff. They'll ride, right?
Yeah.
Drive through, the mountains, and they go to Front Royal. And they got a hell of a game going on down there with Front Royal, Skyline, and Culpeper County. I mean, we're talking about North Stafford. Why not talk about Culpeper? You know what I'm saying?
Is that near? Is that around there?
In my mind, they're near each other. In my mind, I don't know geographically if they're near each other, but in my brain, talk about a true NoVA guy, right? They're kind of near each other. Yeah, what the hell?
Well,
They might not be at all. Excellent.
Didn't you think Rockridge was in Loudoun County or not?
I thought
Rockridge was in
I did.
what you call it?
I did.
Thought
I
it
didn't
was.
know anything about Rockridge at that time. Now I know a lot about him. I know Urquhart came from the, now I know. I feel like I have my master's degree in Rockridge.
Yeah.
But yeah, so awesome stuff there, man. Huge matchups. Look at that. We talked about it last week, and we said, and it just like that, right? We went through 12 games, take it forever to kind of talk about them, and then just like that, cut down to 6.
Yeah.
Right? And then just like that, cut down to 3. Right? Just like that. 4 if you count, obviously, the beach.
Yeah.
So, buddy, I was going to ask you, but now I know the answer to this question. What game, I was going to ask, what game are you looking forward to the most? I know the answer to that now because you kind of said it a second ago.
Yeah, Colonial Ford versus Woodbridge, I think.
Yeah, you like the Colonial
I think
Ford.
is the game to go to.
The
other game, game that's a little closer to me though, because as much as I'd like to go to games, I'd go to Colonial Ford Woodbridge if I didn't work and didn't have to try to jump on. I want to call it the 95, but I know you guys don't call it the. Did I tell you why?
The 95.
Did I tell you why I found out why people from Southern California call the freeways the 405?
The 405?
So before the freeway system got numbers in Southern California, they were called by names: the Long Beach Freeway, the Harbor Freeway, the Santa Monica Freeway. And so once they named them numbers, they just took the that they was calling them and gave that. Anyway, if I didn't have to work, if I didn't have a job to go to, I would actually think about going. But trying to get down there at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I might as well walk.
Yeah, walk. Yeah, you can look at the leaves, foliage.
The foliage
while you do it.
But the other game, I know everyone's on Madison Centerville for good reason, but South County and Lake Braddock is a fight, right?
Yeah.
I don't. Maybe it's because I've coached in a different district, so maybe I don't know. But I don't. Is there an animosity between Centerville and Madison like there is with Lake Braddock and South County?
Centerville, Madison. I mean, there's something there. Something there. I remember a couple of years ago, the quarterback got thrown out of the game. Centerville in the playoffs.
Oh.
The Centerville quarterback got tossed.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I think he started mouthing off to the official.
Yeah.
I mean, they were losing at that point, and he was pissed off. It wasn't like he just randomly started mouthing off to the official. He kind of got mad and said something. But you don't see that too often. You don't see a quarterback start running his mouth to the official get tossed.
I do remember that.
Like Tommy Lasorda.
I do remember that, and yeah, the name popped in my head, and I'm like, oh, I remember that name.
Yeah. So then you had that. The other side, to your point, I feel like when I think of Doc in South County now over the years, and I know Doc Pannoni, but Pannoni's gone, but the Doc, the Lake Braddock versus South County, I part of me tends to think of like these old school matchups, right? The old Joe Gibbs, Parcells matchups.
Yeah.
They just kind of go together, right? Now, tell you what, I mean, you look at it historically. I don't know if you have Doc's record there against South County. Overall,
South County and Lake Braddock is 12-11. Yeah, it is. If South County wins, it'll be a 500. It'll be 12-12.
a lot of those wins happened. DMV Fanatic, what's going on, man? There he is. I'll say this about DMV Fanatic. He's a Cowboys fan, so I was I didn't want to see Cowboys fans today after my Raiders crapped the bed last night. But no, I want to say a lot of those Braddock wins came against South County, and you can look this up as far as years go, because we know Doc's first year at Lake Braddock was the fall of 17. But I just know, and I love Doc, and I love that coaching staff, and they know it. They know that, and they got over that hump. And let me just say this: they did get over that hump the last couple of years, Mason.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that historically, ex-Cowboys, the last couple of years though they've gotten over that hump. But it's still, you look at the longevity of how they've struggled in general. Braddock has struggled against South County over a what are we in 25 over like an 8-year period. And again, I don't know if you have from 17, if you can look at that in 17. Like what's Braddock's records in 17?
Let me look that up here right now.
Because to me, you can bring up years, but you start bringing up years like, before a whole regime got there. Because then you're talking about Poitras and that's a different thing. And even South County, if you go back far enough, it was pre-Pannoni and the current staff we're now.
So they've only played. There's only been 2 coaches who have coached against South County in the history of Braddock. From 05. 05 was the first time they played.
Right.
And it's just Poitras and
right,
Coach.
right.
It's just those 2.
Yeah, no, I knew that. I'm saying, but fall 17 was when I was curious.
They beat them in fall of 17, and then proceeded to lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row. They beat them in 21 in the playoffs.
Yep.
Then they lost 2 more in a row. Then they beat them last year, 22-14, and they lost this year. So, yeah.
Right. So now they did get, like you said, in 22 or whatever, they did get over that hump.
Now the average score though is 24-21.
Oh, they're freaking great games.
Yeah. So
that's
why I said
it's Parcells, Gibbs, it's Tomlin, and I know Doc's a Steelers fan. It's Tomlin, freaking Harbaugh. I mean that's when I think of the equivalent, right? We always make these pro equivalents, kind of having fun with all this in NoVA, and that's what I think of. It's one of those rivalry games.
Yeah.
Buddy, we got to figure this out, man. We got to figure this out. I know you're watching the weather like a hawk. You're like freaking who's the old guy that was on
You should know this. I don't know that. I just know because they always bring out the guy Stick from the snow guy.
Who's the old guy from the Today Show?
Oh,
that always it's your birthday today. She's 110 years old.
Gracie Hughes is 100 years old.
Yeah. What the hell is that guy's name?
I don't know. I thought you were talking about the guy on Channel 4 who has a stick when it snows.
Oh, Bob. You talking about Bob Ryan back in the day? Bob Ryan's Almanac.
Is that yeah? That's what I thought you were talking about.
Yeah, Bob Ryan's Almanac. It was a big influence on Ben Franklin's Almanac.
Is that what you use?
The Monkees were a big influence on the Beatles. Now I can't think of that guy's name. Gosh darn it! Shoot. It wasn't. I wanted to say Wilford Brimley, but it's not Wilford.
I want to say the exact same thing.
It's not Wilford Brimley. Damn it! It was shoot. He was a big guy too.
Willard Scott.
Wilford Brimley. Willard Scott. That's what was throwing us off. It was the W. Yeah. Slappy, Swanson, Swappy. We knew it started with an S.
Yeah.
All right, buddy. Well, just a couple short days away. Actually, 30. We're not done. This has been a week of craziness for you and I. We did the Sunday show. We did Coach D.O. last night on a Monday special edition show. We do tonight's live show, and then you get a night off. I'm giving you a night off on Wednesday, buddy. All right, on me. Take the family out. Nice little dinner, and then Thursday, we're right back at it. We got Dwight Vick doing the Victory podcast with Dwight Vick, and then Friday, and then you're gonna have a game. So it never ends, Mesa. The grind doesn't stop, buddy.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be one of the hardest working men in Northern Virginia? Northern Virginia sports. You're one of the hardest working men in Northern Virginia sports. You never see your family anymore, and I'm sorry about that. Look at that. DMV Fanatic is another one. He's going to the Madison Centerville game. I'm telling you, we're talking about this. It's the game to go to. Everyone's going to it. We're debating it. We might go to South County, Lake Braddock. We're still kind of trying to figure it out. But Mace's also checking the weather every 3 seconds.
Commonwealth football coach, and I know who that is, coach, says that he thinks that NoVA has an advantage. I don't think they do in 6A. So Oscar Smith has 1, 2, 3 in the 3 of the last. What's that? 3 of the last 6. Then Manchester, Westfield 1-3, then Ocean Lakes, then LC Bird, then Oscar Smith again. Thomas Dale.
What do you mean the advantage? You mean advantage?
I think they have more,
wins?
like more championships.
Since when? Talk about history.
Like in I guess in the
Go 25 years, right? Go this millennium.
This millennium. So
That's
here,
fair. This millennium is
count.
fair.
I'm gonna count. All right, so I'll count the ones from not Northern Virginia. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Get to 13, we lose.
Lansdowne, where is that?
No, Lansdowne. They're playing. They played last. They're south.
10. 10. So over the
Hey,
last.
look at that, North Virginia. I never doubted it. I knew we were the best. 15-10. Van Acker's right.
Yeah.
Look at that. VA's always right about this stuff. The man, we said it. The man knows Virginia football. He's a historian. 15-10. Who dominates, buddy? North dominates. That's who dominates.
Okay.
I mean, look. Fair is fair. Numbers, fact, impartial.
There you go.
Numbers don't lie.
Numbers don't lie.
15-10. If we give them last year, quite you can make an argument. I'm not making the argument. Some are making the argument. Could be 16-9 if we win last year. The thrown helmet thing and then that whole thing.
Yeah, the thrown helmet.
We're gonna go ahead and declare it 16-9.
You can't do that.
That's the kind of world we live in nowadays. I think people could just say whatever they want, just declare things. Yeah. So that's good. I always one of the things I'm always too lazy to look up. So I'm glad he actually said that, and then you looked it up, because now I can make that definitive argument when people say that and say, no. Look, go back this millennium, buddy. We're up 15-10.
And Westfield has how many of them? 1,
Hey.
2, 3, 4, 5. They have 5 of them.
5 of the 15.
Yeah.
Noah Kim with 3 of those 5.
Osborne. You know Osborne won in 2006?
Yeah. We talked about
Osborne won in
that.
2006.
Remember we did like the top all-time teams in the summertime? You know?
Oh, yeah.
Midsummer, looking for like a show about, just a show about nothing, Jerry. We actually talked about that.
Yeah.
That's Osborne's lone appearance.
Wow. I mean, if you had more Concord teams in there, Concord has Centerville also has 2, Oakton has 1.
7, 8.
Yeah.
That'd be 8. 8 out of the 15 though, Mesa.
8 of the 15.
Yeah. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
And then you start talking about appearances. I mean, Madison's had a bunch of appearances.
Madison has 1, 2, 3.
South County had a couple appearances too.
Centerville has another one, 4.
Yeah.
Chantilly has 1.
Chantilly, yeah.
Wow. How about this? How about this stat for you? And I know we're dragging on the show right now. Every team in the Concord, except for one, has at least one state championship appearance.
South Lakes.
South Lakes is the only one does not have in the last 25 years does not have a state championship appearance.
In the current Concord.
In the current Concord.
Yeah. But you know what the South Lakes would say? What would they say, Mason? What would our friend, your friend, future Hall of Fame basketball coach Craig say about South Lakes? Someone telling them they don't have any state titles in basketball.
I don't know, what would he say?
Oh, they would say South Lakes basketball would say, we got these rings. They would show their rings, right? South Lakes basketball, Grant Hill, Joey Beard. You know, now that's 90s, but still, that's just my brain goes to those guys. But they've been a basketball power forever. So maybe not football, but power.
Well, I mean, but as it stands, right? Current Chantilly, Centerville, that's crazy. That's crazy.
All right, well, fun show tonight, and I'm going to reiterate it. And we started off the top of the show with it, but I'm going to reiterate it now. Go on our socials, nominate. We got the player of the year. We've got the Senior Bowl coming up, so nominate a player. A senior, a dominant senior, someone you can vouch for. You got the film because it's going to ask you all that stuff on the questionnaire. We have the questionnaire posted on our socials. Go to Twitter; it's up there. I glanced at it earlier and it was asking for highlights, stats, all that kind of stuff. So you can't just say random schmo who didn't do anything all year. But if you got some guys who got the numbers, in NoVA, in Virginia, actually all of Virginia, but we're just talking about NoVA right here. Put them up there, man. Put them up there, nominate them, pass the word around, let people know. Don't want to let any of these guys, any of these deserving, seniors, give them that opportunity. And I remember they got the coolest, they got the jerseys. We saw that stuff last year.
Probably, yeah. I mean,
the Pro Bowl, man.
I'd imagine they're not going to turn their jerseys in at the end of the game.
Right, everyone wears their own helmet, like old school, like the old.
Yeah.
Do they? Or do they wear like?
No, they usually wear their own helmet.
They wear their own helmet. That's awesome.
Yeah. Because I mean, you would have to. Yeah, they wear their own helmet.
It's
like the old. Do you remember they played on Thanksgiving the blue and gray game?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the Shrine Bowl.
No, it was the blue gray game. It was in Mobile, Alabama. I remember on Thanksgiving watching that because college football used to be done by then, right? Thanksgiving college football used to actually be over by then, or at least most.
But there's a Senior Bowl right now. What's the current Senior Bowl? It's just called Senior Bowl.
It's just Senior Bowl. They stopped playing the blue gray game.
Isn't that in Mobile though? The Senior Bowl?
It might be. Maybe.
The current one is.
They don't call it the blue gray game. I wonder if they don't call it the blue gray game anymore. Also because there are connotations in there, right?
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that, dude.
Yeah.
I didn't even think. Yeah, I guess so. I guess that makes sense.
If you got the other color on, you are playing for the.
Yeah, nobody wants to play for the
South of the Mason-Dixon line.
Right. No one wants to play for the bad team.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I remember John Gruden coaching that a couple years ago, and he was putting the Raiders sticker on guys. Do you remember that? He was walking by. So everyone had their helmets, right? They got their college helmets, and John Gruden was a Raiders coach.
It's called the Reese's Senior Bowl.
It is called the Reese's Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
But it's in Mobile.
Is it Mobile? Oh.
Yeah. And Gruden was walking around slapping dudes on their heads with putting the Raiders sticker on all the guys' helmets that were playing. It was pretty cool. The Raiders never recuperated after that. So that's kind of where we are. Well, buddy, it's been fun show. Talked about the games, talked about the Senior Bowl, kind of recapping everything. Talked about Battlefield and how nothing's happening with that whole thing. People can just let that one die. It's funny because how the news shows are so behind. I'm now seeing news clips on that, and it's like I feel like it happened 10 days ago, Mason.
Slow news day. It's a slow news day. If there was something else going on, it's not on the news now.
Well, I was gonna say there's a lot going on.
Yeah, but they need to fill time.
I mean, local news though. I'm talking local news. They were talking about. They were showing the old guys' faces on the local news. Let those guys be. They have grandkids.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Jeez. I mean, my God. All right. I'm going to get off my soapbox on that one. All right. Here we go, buddy. Well, it's been fun. And we hope to see a bunch of you. And if we end up going to a game, we're going to let everyone know way ahead of time. We're going to announce that. And if we do, Mace, I got stuff to give away. I got goodies. I got treats. I got a nice All Hitches hat.
Full-size candy bar?
Full sizers, buddy. I got an All Hitches mug, maybe. I got some T-shirts. I got swag. I got swag to give away. Itching to give it away.
All right.
I got a fever. And the only cure is to give away some gear. All right. Well, All Hitches, Coach Dash, Coach Mesa. We'll see you guys next time.